Can we as a fan base truly endure another season of this agonizing perpetual mediocrity? Or is it finally time for the Chicago Bulls to make a definitive move that signals a clear direction? For years, we've watched this franchise drift, caught between the ambition of contention and the stark reality of a treadmill existence. Now, the spotlight shines brightly on Coby White, a player whose journey with the Bulls has been a roller coaster of potential and frustration, and whose future in Chicago seems increasingly uncertain. The buzz around the league is deafening. White is a prime trade candidate, not because he isn't valuable, but because the Bulls reportedly have no intention of meeting his financial demands when he hits free agency this offseason. It's a classic NBA dilemma. A talented player, a team unwilling to pay, and a ticking clock until the trade deadline. Enter the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team with legitimate Western Conference aspirations, who have reportedly set their sights on White. They see him as a crucial missing piece, a dynamic guard who can alleviate pressure on their superstar Anthony Edwards and provide much-needed playmaking. But here's the kicker, Bulls fans, and this is where the rubber meets the road: the asking price. According to Clutch Points, the Bulls are demanding an unprotected first-round pick for Coby White. An unprotected first-rounder. Let that sink in for a moment. Is this a stroke of genius from Arturas Karnisovas, a bold declaration of White's true value, or a desperate gamble from a front office that has often been criticized for its indecisiveness? Think about the implications. An unprotected first-round pick from a team like Minnesota, currently a strong contender, might seem less valuable in the short term. But history is littered with contending teams that suddenly fall off a cliff due to injuries, unforeseen slumps, or internal turmoil. That pick, which today might project in the late 20s, could, in a worst-case scenario for Minnesota, transform into a lottery selection. It's a high-stakes poker game, and the Bulls are holding a strong hand, betting on White's current performance and the Timberwolves' desperation. Half of you out there are probably screaming, finally, some real assets, while the other half are wondering if we're just giving away a young, developing talent for a lottery ticket that might not even pay off for years. This isn't just about Coby White. It's about the Bulls' perceived value of their own assets and their willingness to play hardball in a league that often rewards the bold. The question isn't just if White gets traded, but what message this audacious asking price sends about the Bulls' true intentions for the future. The sheer audacity of the Bulls' asking price for Coby White, an unprotected first-round pick, isn't just a negotiation tactic. It's a stark reflection of the franchise's current strategic crossroads, a crossroads they've been stuck at for what feels like an eternity. Let's not mince words. The Chicago Bulls have been the poster child for NBA purgatory, the chilling statistic that has haunted us for 4 consecutive seasons. An 18-21 record through 39 games isn't just a number. It's a testament to a deeply ingrained culture of good enough that has stifled any real progress. We've seen this movie before, haven't we? The fleeting hope, the midseason slump, the desperate scramble for a play-in spot, only to end up with a record barely above or below .500. It's a Groundhog Day scenario that has left fans utterly exasperated, wondering if anyone in the front office truly understands the meaning of change. But now, a glimmer of hope, or perhaps just a shift in the wind, comes from Chicago Sun-Times reporter Joe Cowley. He's reporting that VP of Basketball Operations Arturas Karnisovas is finally ready to wheel and deal, exhibiting a newfound transparency and realism in trade talks. If this is true, it's a monumental development. For years, the Bulls have been ridiculed for holding onto players past their prime, for clinging to a vision that never materialized. Remember the endless speculation around Nikola Vucevic, or the constant debate about Zach LaVine's future? This reported shift in AK's approach could be the most significant news of the season, regardless of whether you're rooting for a full-blown rebuild or a strategic retooling. It suggests a recognition, finally, that the current path is unsustainable. Now, let's dive deeper into why Minnesota is so keen on Coby White, and why that unprotected pick is such a high-stakes gamble for them. The Timberwolves have been knocking on the door of Western Conference contention, even making the conference finals the past 2 seasons. They have a bona fide superstar in Anthony Edwards, but their Achilles heel has been a consistent true point guard presence, especially when Edwards needs a breather or when the offense stagnates in crunch time. Players like Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and Bones Highland have tried to fill that void, but they lack the natural playmaking and floor generalship that a dedicated point guard brings. White, with his ability to play both on and off ball, to create his own shot, and to facilitate for others, presents a near-perfect fit. He's not a superstar, but he's a significant upgrade who wouldn't disrupt their existing chemistry or demand an exorbitant salary immediately. However, the unprotected first-round pick is the ultimate poker chip. For Minnesota, a team with a young superstar like Edwards, their future picks are theoretically less valuable because they expect to be good for years to come. But what if Edwards suffers a major injury? What if the team underperforms drastically? That late first-round pick could suddenly become a lottery pick, a devastating blow to a franchise trying to build a sustainable contender. The Timberwolves management isn't just trading for Coby White. They're betting on the long-term health and success of their entire core. And beyond the pick, there's the looming question of White's next contract. The Bulls are trading him precisely because they don't want to pay him. Minnesota would need to be confident they can not only acquire him, but also sign him to a long-term deal that fits their cap structure, making him a foundational piece rather than a rental. This isn't just a trade. It's a strategic commitment that could define the next half-decade for both franchises. So, here we stand, Bulls Nation, at a pivotal juncture where the fate of Coby White, and by extension the entire direction of the Chicago Bulls franchise hangs in the balance. The revelation that Arturas Karnisovas is reportedly more open to making moves, coupled with the audacious asking price for White, signals a potential seismic shift from the stagnation we've endured. But what does this truly mean for the future, and what are the scenarios that could unfold for both the Bulls and the Timberwolves? For the Bulls, the Coby White trade saga is a microcosm of their larger strategic dilemma. If they manage to secure an unprotected first-round pick from Minnesota, it could be the first domino in a long-overdue rebuild. Imagine a scenario where this pick, combined with potential trades for other veterans like Nikola Vucevic, a player whose name has also frequently popped up in trade rumors, or even expiring contracts like Kevin Huerter and Zach Collins, could net the Bulls a treasure trove of draft capital and young prospects. This would finally allow the franchise to fully commit to a youth movement targeting high-upside talent in the draft, perhaps even setting the stage for a blockbuster move down the line for a true franchise cornerstone, a la the Zion Williamson rumors we've heard in the past. This path, while painful in the short term, offers the most clear-cut route out of the 18 to 21 cycle. However, there's also the possibility that the Bulls' asking price is too steep and White remains in Chicago past the deadline. What then? Do they try to re-sign him in the offseason, potentially committing significant cap space to a player they initially didn't want to pay? This would likely cement their status as a perpetual play-in team, a path that has proven to be a dead end for true championship aspirations. Or perhaps they trade White for a different package, maybe a young player with potential and a less valuable pick, signaling a retooling rather than a full teardown. The key takeaway, regardless of the specific outcome, is that action itself is a victory. The complacency has been the real enemy, and any move that clarifies the team's long-term vision should be welcomed. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, acquiring Coby White would be a bold declaration of their championship intent. Integrating White into their lineup would provide a dynamic secondary ball handler, a much-needed scoring punch off the bench, and a player who can seamlessly play alongside Anthony Edwards. This move could elevate them from a Western Conference contender to a legitimate finals threat, addressing a critical weakness that has plagued them in past playoff runs. But the risk of that unprotected first-round pick, combined with the financial commitment to White in the offseason, is immense. It's a bet on their current core, a wager that their window of contention is wide open, and that White is the piece that pushes them over the top. If it pays off, they could be hoisting a trophy. If it doesn't, that unprotected pick could haunt them for years. Ultimately, Bulls Nation, The current trade buzz, especially around Coby White and the reported shift in Arturas Karnisovas' approach, should ignite a spark of excitement within all of us. Whether you dream of a complete rebuild or a strategic retooling to push for a deeper playoff run, the prospect of the Bulls finally making a decisive move is a breath of fresh air. It's time to shed the shackles of mediocrity and embrace a clear direction. What do you think, Bulls Nation? Is an unprotected first-round pick a fair price for Coby White? Or are the Bulls overplaying their hand? Should they go all in on a rebuild or try to retool around the current core? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more exclusive Bulls insights and breaking news.